Driving too quickly is in fact breaking the law. Many of us are guilty of this, perhaps without even realising it. We ought to know which speed limits apply in which areas because that advice is in the Highway Code. Here's Glenn.
We're talking about speed limits. This particular section of road we're on at the moment is a 30 mile an hour speed limit. Now it's not posted with any 30 mile an hour signs apart from at the beginning of the limit for vehicles approaching. But because there are street lights present, there's a system of street lighting indicates to us that it is a 30 mile an hour limit. That's generally true throughout urban areas within the country, but there are certain exceptions to this, and that's where there is alternative speed limit is posted. For example, either 20 miles an hour in a 20 mile an hour zone or a limit, or maybe more than 30, so up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. They're clearly posted what we call repeater signs that are up on the lamppost themselves. Now, although they're called a speed limit, that's not a target to aim for. It is actually a limit. Your driving has to be in accordance with the conditions and the environment at the time. For example, is it safe to be driving at 20 miles an hour outside of school when it's school closing time and the environment itself is full of children on the side of the road and full of cars and full of parents coming to pick up their children? Another example is on a 60 mile an hour national speed limit road. If you've been driving for quite some period of time on a long journey, on a long straight piece of road, are you travelling at the right speed due to your length of the time you've been driving? The Highway Code recommends you should take a break every 2 hours and stop for a while. So you have to judge what your speed is in relation to the environment at the time. And always remember that you should be able to stop within a distance which you can see to be clear, so your speed has to be appropriate to that distance at the time. One of the areas to also consider with speed limits and your speed is modern vehicles and the modern driving environment. Roads are, new roads especially, can be very, very quiet and can be deceptive in terms of the road noise they're providing back into the cabin of your vehicle. And you may get lulled into a false sense of security by that quietness, look down at your speedometer and find you're travelling in excess of the speed limit at the time. So just be aware, and it may sound obvious, but look down and use your speedometer. You have to be very much aware of the weather conditions. They can impact upon your necessary speed, and also other road users. Think of horse riders, pedestrians, cyclists, especially in country environments where there may be pedestrians in the road on your side of the road coming towards you. And just being slightly over the speed limit is going to increase your stopping distance and may have disastrous consequences.
Often people's perception of a speeder is somebody who drives at very high speeds. But even driving slightly above the speed limit can have serious consequences, even if this is just caused by a lapse in concentration maybe. Knowing which speed limits apply in which circumstances is of course a legal requirement, something that all of us must take time to learn.